Hello and welcome to the first round of the Dragon Racing League Formula One season. We are here at Albert Park in Australia in a quite beautiful weather. As you can see, it is nice and sunny right now, and we are expecting that to continue all the way through, as we will be holding on for a nice sunny day all the way. We're expecting sun, a little bit of cloud for qualifying here, with sunnier and then cloudy and overcast for the race as it continues on. No rain is expected today, which is very lucky because I know in around Australia right now it's been raining the last couple days and it's supposed to rain the next few days after. But yes, the weekend is going to be beautiful, so we will be having that and getting to avoid as much as we can. Alright, we're going to quickly throw up everyone's tires, get some telemetry up there, and we will throw on the map. As we see some cars just floating around, we will touch quickly on what we're going to be looking at track-wise today. So as you can see, Australia, we are in Melbourne for our Grand Prix circuit at St. Albert. Nope, not St. Albert, Albert Park. It is 14 corners, 5.2 kilometers long. There will not be 58 laps as we are only doing 58% or 50% here. The first Grand Prix was held in this track, in this setup, in 1996. Lap record held by Charles Leclerc set in 2022 of 1:20.260. And as you can see, some cars flying around here. We will take a quick look as well at everyone who is going to be involved in this race. So with our Ferrari team, we are going to have Hayden Rogers, RDR Lucifer, as well as DRL Racer X. Over in Red Bull, we will have Knick Knack Paddywhack, who is still one of my favorite names. If anyone who got to catch as an AlphaTauri goes around on the backside, that might not be the greatest, as I think that will put them out of the session here. But we have Knick Knack Paddywhack in the 99 car and King C-Dot in the 21 car for Red Bull. Over at Alpine, we have Osmanian Devil in the 75 and Gasboy in the 14. At Aston Martin, we've got Andy in the 80 car, and we will call him Ketchin, but AWFK9, or Ketchin in the 30 car at Aston Martin. Over in the Haas, we will have OnlyFans Free in the 97 Haas car, and Strazzi in the 7 Haas car. At McLaren, we have Beamer Unit in the 95, and Jacko in the 43. As we had seen earlier, he had set pole as of current, so he's holding on to that first place. In the Mercedes, we will have the Johnny Damon in the 2 car and Coda King in the 96, or sorry, the 69 car. In AlphaTauri, we'll have Lucky Charm in the 46 and Boulanger in the 8. Over at Williams, we'll have Electric Blade in the 93 and Cam Tizzle in the 42. In the Alfa Romeo, we will have Wolfberg Tuner in the 72 and Slayerized in the 13. And we will check out quickly the reserve drivers. We do have Ray Lobo, and Free Willy, and Cynical, all going to be involved throughout the season. And we will, as we can take a quick look-see, we so Mad Jacko is currently holding on to pole with Electric Blade 93 holding on to P2, Gasboy in 3rd, Beamer Blunt in 4th, Slayerized in 5th, Andy 6th, Knick Knack Paddywhack in 7th, DRL Racer in 9th. Boulanger, as we saw, had himself an unfortunate little spin. He is currently in 11th, but will most likely, if everybody gets a lap and no one else goes out, that will be kind of the end of that. We do have Lucky Charms in 13th currently. Osmanian Devil. We've got Greasy Goose there. King C-Nod, Ketchin, Coda Go Hard, Wolfberg's Tuner, and OnlyFans Free all starting to get their way in. As we are on board with the Johnny Damon, we will hop over to quickly with Lucky Charms as he is going through his fast lap here. Or looks like actually he's going through his wore out lap. Not sure why it told me he was doing a fast one, but he's with that. We'll take a quick Lucifer is doing his on intermediates because he likes to do that kind of thing. So he sets his first time there. As we do have the few guys in the pits still, and Wolfsburg Tuner is going on his fast lap. But it looks like he has unfortunately invalidated, so he's going to have to go around again. I'll probably recharge that battery up and go back around. As he pulls aside for the Red Bull to go through there. Qaliy is with the Goosey Gang, and Andy here. How's it going, everybody? So we are around this wonderful track circuit over in Australia. For those of you who do not know much about this guy, there's a lot of fun things. So there have been a couple of different circuits around here. The, I guess, original Grand Prix style circuit that they ran from 1996 to 2020 had 16 corners and was the lap record of a 124.125 was held by Michael Schumacher, set in 2004. And then last year for 2020, or I guess 2 years ago now, 2021 to the current, we had 14 turns. It was a little shorter, and the fastest lap is held by Charles Leclerc at 120.260. He set that in 2022. So both track iterations have a current lap holder from Ferrari, which is kind of cool. So there's been a few different changes to this track. I know the big one right before they decided to actually run this race was they went from 3 DRS zones, as you can see in the bottom there, all those green sections where they kind of open and close. Those are going to be your DRS zones, and I know for this current year in 2023 they're going to be adding one right about where that Sector 2 symbol is. So they will actually have 4 DRS zones in the coming time, which will be interesting for sure. And we can see Wolfsburg here trying to set a fast lap as he is coming down through. Sorry, dying a little cough there. He is on his way through, on his way to third turn. I believe that is now turn 12. Turn 11, yeah, and then 12. He's on his way to 12 now. And then he'll hit 13, which is known as Prost. Then down and around on his way to the last straightaway. It's a really tricky corner, though. Can be a lot of very interesting times can go through there. He does get himself a time of 121.636. It does look like Mad Jacket was going out for his second fast lap. So he makes his way through turn 14 here on his way. Oh, and he has actually decided to hop into the pits here. So he wasn't happy with something, but got his way out of there. We'll hop on with Coda Go Hard as he looks like he is on his way at turning through turn 11 here on the quick little fast right-hander as Andy has set himself a new fast lap. Gets himself up on the pole with a 118.040 through turn 14 here. He will activate that DRS as that opens up and makes his way through all the way to the finish. And what does he end up putting himself on? Coda Go Hard gets a 119.530 as it looks like he'll get a full course yellow. I'm not sure what happened there, or there just happened to be a yellow in each section. So rather unfortunate. Oh, it does look like we have the Johnny Damon losing his front wing, so he's going to have to go around here, get himself into the back into the pits, get a new front wing, and head on his way out. Ooh, who did I just see spinning around over here? So it looks like Cam Tizzle doing some donuts, as he unfortunately has a little bit of a spin coming out of turn 11. Yeah, so he's going to be hopping in, trying to get himself a new front wing. Go hard, coming around. He is going to be on his in-lap now. Looks like DRL Racer has got himself in. Yeah, he will be coming in quite shortly as well. Looks like he's already set his fast lap, although it looks like he might be pushing pretty good here, so he might be trying to set another quick lap as he comes towards a turn 11. Nice little quick right-hander here for turn 12. Before he has to immediately get on the brakes, drop down into third, sometimes second gear. And yeah, he is going to roll himself back into the pits here now. We have Ketchin coming through. It looks like, yeah, he's going to be doing a fast lap here. So as he makes his way, we will hop on board as he makes his way through turns 3 and then 4 here. Watching out for that sausage curve on the right, getting back onto the left-hand side, turning a hard right on like full speed. Going through turn 5 on his way down to turn 6, which you'll little lifting and get back on the power for turn 7. This rounded turn for 8. Nice long straightaway, great for passing, great for getting a slipstream. As he makes his way down to a very quick left's right, sorry, of 8, 9, and 10. You can ride the curves, get on there, get on the throttle, open your DRS, fly down this another long straightaway with this DRS, which is obviously a great way. Then immediately drop down, get onto a hard right-hander for turn 11. Little lift again for turn 12. Then immediately drop down to about third gear typically, but he likes to stay in fourth. Interesting. As he hops back up into fifth gear, and then it's flat out DRS open straight to the finish line. It's a very quick track, which is kind of nice, as he gets himself up to a 1:18.852. Great first lap there, as he's going to now rip his way around and then probably head on back into the pits as we catch Electric Blade. He is now also heading on his way to turn 3 and 4, and as we can see, Ketchin just in front of him, literally on the track, as he's going to get out of the way to allow Electric Blade to get through. At least, well, he might be far enough ahead, it's not too much of a deal, but Electric Blade has set a fastest sector 1 here. So let's take a little gander, see how he ends up doing as he heads on his way through this long straightaway towards turn 9. With a quick left, no slowing down for the right, keep it on the track, open your DRS, and just get her going. Another slow down, get on the power again. Ooh, almost went a little wide. Yeah, that's going to invalidate it. That's very unfortunate. He had the fastest lap for sector 1 there, so unfortunately he's going to come into the pits, recharge that battery, probably throw on a new set of slicks, and we'll get through. Mad Jacko coming through here, so this is probably the end of his out lap. Yeah, he's probably going to pop this on. Let's see if he opens that rear wing. Yes, he does. All right, so we're going to have another fast lap out of Jacko here as he makes his way down the straight. It's to turn 1, where it's again, keeps it on. Open that DRS as he gets down towards turn 3 and then turn 4. And avoid that sausage curve there. Flat out for 2 fast corners. A little on the grass, get on. A lot of fast corners, not a lot of slowing down. A couple spots where you really have to pump the brakes down hard and then get back on the throttle. But for the most part, you're pretty flat out for most of this track here. Left, a little bit of right, keep it, ooh, gets a little squirrely coming out of that turn 10 there. And manages to keep it going, gets down Ooh, second gear. I don't think that's where you want to get down to second gear, but keeps it flying forward. Little lift, drop to fifth, back up to sixth, drop down to second. Ooh, one's a little spicy, but down to two, three, fourth. Holds it down, DRS open. Let's see what he ends up getting here for himself. And it looks like, unfortunately, oh, he does get into P4, didn't move up, but does have a faster time. So he ends up with a 1:18.156, which is a great time. It's like, yeah, our current pole sitter and Andy, he's going to be starting his next fast lap here as we're in the final minutes of qualifying. I'm sure he lifted a little more than he would have wanted to through there, but we'll see. Currently is ahead by about 0.6 of a second, so he's got, I'm sure he's hoping to put a little more of a spacing through there. See the Alfa Romeo getting out of his way. A lot of these cars are going to be hoping to make their way around. I don't know if they're going to, depending on where they are. Any of the cars kind of behind him, as he did set a purple lap one, or sector 1. He makes his way through sector 2 here, heading towards that DRS detection zone. We'll trigger that there. Another purple sector 2. Fires open that DRS. Heading down to turn 11. This might be an absolute flyer of a lap. He could dip into those 117s here, depending on how this goes. Let's see what time he ends up getting. A 117.7. That is fast. Great lap from him. He'll hop back, and unfortunately the Red Bull has spun there. We do have Electroblade coming through. He is hoping to make himself a little higher up on this. Well, as he gets on to the other side, takes that right-hander. Oh, and unfortunately spins coming out of the right-hand turn. That is going to basically end it, as he will not be able to increase his time. So that will be our final starting grid here, as we have Andy on pole. Sounds very similar, as I believe he had pole for the start of the preseason race in Spain that we did. So we will take a quick look. So starting on the front row, we will have Andy and Knick-Knack Paddywhack. And then we will have in P3, Lucifer, Jacko in 4th, the Johnny Damon in 5th, Gasboy in 6th, Electroblade 7th, Slayerized in 8th, Cam Tizzle in 9th, Ketchin in 10th, King C-Dot in 11th, Coda in 12th, Beamer Blunt 13, Greasy Goose 14, DRL Racer in 15th, Osmanian Devil 16th, Lucky Charm 17th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 18th, Boolanger in 19th, and OnlyFans Free in 20th. Great qualifying, so I'm hoping this race should be pretty entertaining. We got a lot of guys are really close together, so it should be pretty fun. For the most part, I think it's going to be a flyer of a race. Lots of speed, lots of very interesting corners to deal with, so it will be a good old time. I'd like to thank everyone for coming on in. If you don't mind, give yourselves a little bit of a thumbs up. It helps the channel out immensely, as this is a brand new league. We are hoping to grow, so feel free. Drop that little thumbs up if you're watching and having fun. All right, we're just loading in, waiting for a couple of guys to get all loaded up. We got about 30 seconds till a race start here. Into the final 10 seconds, and we will head out for a nice little formation lap around beautiful Albert Park. Who doesn't want to go to Melbourne? Nice warm weather, especially compared to where I am in the snow. So our predicted pit stop strategies, we have the option of a one-stopper starting on mediums, going hards or going hards to mediums, or there is your option of a two-stopper, obviously dealing with a medium, and then hard stint in whichever order you prefer. We will have 29 laps around here, so it will be very fast, very quick, as these guys are going to start getting some heat into the tires. You see them all kind of squiggling their ways around, doing some zigzags and weaving. That's, yeah, just get a little warmth into the tires. If your tires are too cold, you actually have a harder time gaining traction, especially the guys that are going to be on that the white hard tire. So you can see there are a couple that'll have that kind of that'll have that white rimmed hard tire. So Andy at first, Lucifer in third. We have a 10th as well, and then 15th. Everyone else is going to be running on softs or mediums, which is very interesting. Softs on this track, because of the temperatures, usually degrade fairly quickly. So I'm assuming most of them will be looking for probably a two-stop race. Some of the mediums, it's kind of going to depend on how the race goes. Obviously, safety cars will play a factor into this, but the biggest thing will be keeping it on track and facing the proper direction. We're just filing into the grid boxes now, and this is obviously very important because all that heat you just put into your tires, you want to make sure you don't get disqualified from the session, which basically just means you get put into your starting blocks, but you also lose any heat you put in your tires, and your tires are going to start very cold, so getting off the line can be a little dicey. And lights are going on here. The 5 lights, they are out, and we are on our way as we take off, with Andy getting a great jump, opening a 3/10 lead here as he goes flying through. We get a little bit of a knick-knack paddywhack, getting almost passed by Johnny Damon as Johnny Damon goes a little wide, ends up on the side. So we get a yellow flag there through Sector 1. It looks like very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeos getting a little tangled up, but they are gone, so no safety car, which is good. We are on our way here as we have a little bit of a battle going on between Knick-Knack Paddywhack and Andy, trying to get that lead. Obviously, Knick-Knack is going to have a little bit more traction coming through, with those soft tires being a little easier to get grip and traction at the very start. Like we said, however, they will burn a little faster, so you have a better chance of your tires burning out if you're pushing too hard. As we get another yellow flag, but it looks like in Sector 2, but nothing too dangerous. Might have been a little bit of a spin, but going from there. As we can see, this kind of three-way battle with 2 soft runners chasing that hard runner down, as it looks like Knick-Knack's trying to make a move, but Andy just able to kind of hold off on him. The full heat has not gotten into those softs yet. They're taking a little bit of time, but I would not be surprised if they are able to get themselves through very quickly, as we see kind of a little bit of a train going on. Obviously not a DRS train yet, as there is no DRS happening yet. Knick-Knack Paddywhack setting a fastest lap off of the first lap, so that will be broken. I believe it was a 124. We will see that fall fairly shortly, I am sure. As Gasboy has now making a little bit of a move as Knick-Knack Paddywhack has got himself over Andy. OnlyFans Free getting an unfortunate 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm assuming he lost a front wing in that little incident that happened earlier. As Andy is kind of tumbling down, he's trying to fight off Gasboy as well as Lucifer, as they are kind of in a three-way duel here for P2 as Knick-Knack has just taken off. Unfortunate. It looks like Boulanger having a little bit of an issue as Osmanian Devil has slid down. Oh, and he has driven himself into the wall and lost his front wing, so he's going to have a little bit of fun of a time trying to make his way around now without a front wing. But it does look like we are going to have a virtual safety car and a Mr. Beamer Blunt getting a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Lucky Charms there. So hopefully it doesn't look like he got any damage, but Mr. Beamer Blunt has lost his front wing, and the safety car has now come out, so we will have that as we have made it 2 laps and getting a safety car, as it looks like we got a couple of guys hopping into the pits already with, oh my goodness, why are they? Yeah, we've got a few guys running into the pits very early, so I'm assuming a lot of busted front wings, things like that, as Knick-Knack Paddywhack makes his way out. He has swapped from his softs to hards. Very interesting. We did see... Yeah, I'm curious as to what that, like, if he was just hoping to get crack space? Not really sure. So a few guys swapping tires here. Osmanian Devil is going to be on heading in. He's getting throw on a set of mediums, get a new front wing. As you can see, a lot of guys getting off those softs. The only person still, or only 2 that still are on their soft tires are going to be the Johnny Damon and C-Dot. Outside of that, they will be hoping to continue as long as they can on these mediums and hards. We see Andy has now inherited the lead there after that safety car. With Knick-Knack heading himself into the pits to get a new set of tires. Rather unfortunate. He did all that work, got himself up in front, and then was unable to kind of hold on strictly because a safety car came in and everyone had to stop. Looks like we will allow Osmanian Devil and OnlyFans Free to get a little bit closer, as they will try and get caught back up here. As they head into the last 2 corners here before, and assuming this lap will be the end of the safety car. Could be wrong. Everyone seems pretty bunched up at this point, so I would be surprised if they continue it, but gotta clean up all that debris. Don't want to lose the tires and have those pop in a... It's never fun. Never a fun time. As we are going to... Let's just hop on board and get a nice look at the Aston Martin safety car as well, because Aston Martin and Mercedes do rotate their tracks as to who gets their safety car there. There's usually 2 or 3 safety cars of each version at each track, just in case something goes wrong with one of them. And there's that nice Ferrari just behind him. Jacko in P3. We got Matt Damon in P4 and the Mercedes, and now silver arrows before they paint them black. We have the next Aston Martin down in 5th. Williams Racing up in 6th with Cam Tindall right behind him in 7th. Greasy Goose made his way up to 8th. He is on the loose. Safety car will be in this lap, which is going to be fun, so we will hop back into TV here. Take a quick look as you're going to start seeing Andy backing up the field. He'll slow down, give a little space to the safety car, and he will essentially become the safety car here. They start zigzagging, trying to get some heat into those tires after having to drive slowly. Typically what you're going to see is he will get on the gas and really push the throttle coming into the final corner, but more so usually, kind of get towards that final corner, get out of the final corner. Usually it's not as harsh of a corner normally, but this one's a pretty nasty corner to get on, so he will usually on the exit get on the throttle and get going. As he is now on his way as the cars have taken off, cannot pass till the start-finish line. There will be no DRS again for the next 2 laps here as they make their way through onto turn 1, into turn 2, on their way down this little straightaway before turns 3 and 4 in this quick little chicane sort of style. So we do get another little yellow flag there in sector 1, but no crash it looks like, just a little off track. So as they keep moving, no safety car, no VSC. As we can see a little bit of a gap opening up behind our P1 and P2. It's about 0.8 of a second now. This is a very fast track, so we do have some movement down below. It looks like we have another Lucky Charms dropping down the field very quickly. Beamer Blunt making his way past the Alfa Romeo Wolfsburg. As we have DRX Racer, he's making a little bit of a push here on the Red Bull of Knick-Knack Paddywhack right behind him. He obviously does have a couple lap older tires here, as you can see. He's on 4 lap old hards, opposed to Knick-Knack's 2, but not going to be too much of an issue this early on in those tires' lifespan. Quick look, Cam Tizzle looking to make a move on Ketchin, as Andy has set a new fastest lap in a 1:22.584. He's holding that lead over John Lucifer, as Johnny has made his way past Jacko and is starting to lose him a little bit. Lucky Charms has hopped into the pits, but has unfortunately gotten himself a 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane penalty. Seen a couple of those. I believe OnlyFans Free has one as well. A couple of changes as Coda Go Hard slips on underneath DRX Racer X and gets ahead of him, holding this little 3-man train, as we've got King C-Dot and Racer just behind him. As it looks like C-Dot is trying to make a pass. He is quite close, as we have Electric Blade trying to make a move as well on Jacko. And Jacko has opened a little bit of a gap, but it looks like we do get another issue. What is going on? Who is having a problem? As it looks like, unfortunately, Osmanian Devil had another little bit of a spin there. Lost some of his front wing again. And Lucky Charms hoping that this can mean he can catch back up a little bit, as we do have the safety car coming out for our second safety car of the day. On lap 6 here, there is only 5 safety cars that you are able to get in a single race, so hopefully that is near the end of that one. Hopefully that'll be at least the last of that one. Last thing we want to do is constantly have safety cars. As we see a bunch of guys jumping into the pits again, a lot of guys flipping onto some hard tires here. Tossing those guys on rather quickly. Looks like, yeah, going on to hard tires there. Hards are going to be great. I think it's the way to go if you're looking to get track position, because obviously if safety cars are going to continue like this, that's not really what you're going to want to have to deal with the entire time. It's having the safety, or having to lose your tires and having them wear out strictly because you're going slowly. Osmanian Devil comes in, gets himself a new front wing and some new medium tires. Back up with the front, we do have a Aston Martin sandwich with a Ferrari in the middle. The Greasy Goose for the Goosey Gang is holding in P4 on a 6-lap-old mediums. He's doing quite well today. Having a little bit of a better day than the preseason day in the wets. He's getting that Haas up front. Goosey Gang, yes. Knick-Knack has made his way back a little bit, getting himself into P5 on those slightly newer hard tires. So right now we've got Aston Martin, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Haas, Red Bull, Alpine in our top 6 with a Mercedes in there as well. Looks like unfortunately the Johnny Damon did hop in to get himself a set of hard tires. Hoping to extend those as long as he can. Looks like for the most part we're almost all completely bunched up as Osmanian Devil is going to make his way around. Should get caught up before the end of the next lap here. And be able to restart this race hopefully very quickly here. We have all of the names in this league deserve a round of applause too, though. I agree, there's pretty solid names in here. Osmanian Devil, very, very smart there. I mean, Lucky Charms, you've got, sorry? Knick-Knack Paddywhack is a great one. Gas Boy. Lucifer, the Greasy Goose. Very fun, very creative teams. Good stuff. Make our way. And it looks like, yeah, we've got all bunched back up, so we should hopefully get the safety car brought in this lap here. Be able to send that out rather quickly, not have to worry too much. Looks like, yeah, lights are out, so safety car will be in this lap. So Andy will start to back up the field. We will start to pull everybody a little bit closer, as we'll start zigzagging to get some heat back in those tires. Let the safety car go, get all bunched up. So you can see the whole field kind of doing a nice little zigzags. Weaving and stuff. It's always fun. You gotta be careful though. It has happened under safety car. During the weave, guys get a little squirrely as Andy takes off here. He will be definitely looking to kind of get himself a little bit of a lead, try and push off on Lucifer. Hopefully not give him too much space as he does get on the throttle. And we are back underway under green as they make their way down to the start-finish line here. Hoping to kind of extend that gap so there's not too much of a problem. Looks like we do get a safety car as someone did spin coming out of that final corner. It looks like, unfortunately, the Johnny Damon got himself a little squirrely. He is doing donuts now, getting himself back underway, as we did have Beamer Blunt make his way past DRL Racer. We do have Gas Boy. And, oh, Knick-Knack Paddywhack looks like he got himself a little wide, wasn't able to get going, and has lost a lot of speed there. Did lose a couple of places to Beamer Blunt and Racer X. Coda Go Hard as well. As we get up in front, and we do have another safety car in, or not another safety car, sorry, another yellow flag, as Wolfsburg Tuner looks like he got a little bit dicey coming out of there. King C-Dot getting himself a multiple warnings. I'm assuming, based on that, it is for track limits, but we do have this Ferrari or Aston Martin sandwich with the Ferrari filling as they are making their way. They've opened a little bit of a gap to the Greasy Goose as he is now over a second behind them, so they don't have to worry about that. We are hoping to get to DRS, but we will not on this one, as it looks like we have a DNF of Osmanian Devil, as it looks like he went off, lost a tire, lost his front tire, so we will have our third safety car of the day on lap 9. It looks like we've got a few people hopping into the pits right quick. Going to get themselves on some new tires. As we take a look, oh, where'd they go? Lost guys, there we go. The Ferrari getting his way out. Ooh, as the Haas comes out just ahead of him, the Greasy Goose does manage to make the jump in the pits on the Ferrari of Lucifer. So we will have that, it's that slippery goose. That little extra grease gets him sliding on through up into the front. As Slayer Ice has now entered the pit as well. But unfortunately for the Osmanian Devil, it seemed like a little bit of a rough day, as he is unable to continue. Losing that front wheel always makes it a little tougher. We are hoping that we will at some point get a string of green flag laps. But that'll be our third safety car of the day. We're already fairly bunched up, so I could see this being a very quick one. As everyone had gone into the pits, gotten back out, it's caught back up. As it's, for the most part now, everybody's gotten themselves onto some hard tires. A few mediums still straggling around, as we do have Aston Martin, McLaren up at the front, and I'm not going to lie, this is kind of hilarious considering how the actual season went in 2022. Aston Martin was nowhere near the front, and neither was McLaren. And they're both ahead of a Ferrari and a Red Bull. It's not what you expect, but fantastic racing out of them so far. As being blunt, okay, I was like, what's going on? Okay, no passing under safety cars here. Alright, so hopefully this will be the final lap under safety car. Be okay if it's the final lap under safety car for the rest of the race, but we will see how that all ends up going. As our trio of Aston Martins leading the way from the safety car to the two cars right behind it. A few new tire guys, so those guys get kind of an added bonus. They can get a little heat in the tires, get a little traction opposed to coming out on very cold tires, which is obviously not the most ideal way of going about things. And you of course save quite a bit of time on a pit stop without having to worry about everyone driving at full race pace. I believe here it's about 27-ish seconds under normal racing, so you almost cut that pretty much in half while you're under safety car. So the safety car will be in this lap. We will be going back under green in the next few corners here. Andy will start to back up the field a little bit, trying to get himself some space from the safety car. To get a collision under the safety car, so a 5-second penalty for Boulanger as he collides with, fortunately, he ends up bumping into, let's see, who was it that gets bumped? It looks like, I think it was Lucky Charms. Rather unfortunate. That'll drop him down to the back of the pack. As hopefully he does not. He will need a new front wing, unfortunately. Front wing seeming to be a little bit of a premium, as we are back underway up at the front here with Andy, followed by Ketchin, Beamer Blunt, Racer X, Knick-Knack Paddywhack, OnlyFans Free, Jacko, Electric Blade, Cam Tizzle, King C-Dot, Lucifer, Lucky Charms, Gasboy has just passed the Greasy Goose, Coda Go Hard, Wolfsburg Tuner, Johnny Damon, and MMR Slayerized, and Boulanger as he enters back into the pits to get himself a new front wing. So we do have Electric Blade making his way past OnlyFans Free as well. We do have a little bit of jostling going on just behind them, as we have Cam Tizzle trying to make a move as he is holding off Lucifer in that Ferrari. And King C-Dot now is trying to get ahead of OnlyFans. Ooh, we do get a little bit of a twist behind us, but we are still going to continue as we have this little three-way duel going on as OnlyFans Free is trying to make his way through. Going a little bit wide is Cam Tizzle there. As, whoa, little bump there, but we're at, okay, everyone's still going straight. As Lucifer is kind of in the middle of a 2 wide, almost goes 3 wide, as guys are kind of fighting through this little mid-pack here. As OnlyFans Free drops another spot back down. And Lucifer trying to make his way through. Greasy Goose, unfortunately, getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh, as it looks like Hoda goes hard, goes a little bit wide, gets a little loose, ends up spinning himself. He's going to try and avoid having to go into the pit lane there. As we get back up, as Lucifer has made the pass on King C-Dot, there is a 2-second gap to the next group ahead of them as Knick-Knack Paddywhack has made his way past DRL Racer X, and Jacko looking to make a move as well, as he has also gotten past him, and ooh, they almost got a little tied up with Electroblade as he is trying to push his way up in head of Racer as well. You can see the next little pack behind them. 1 and 2 have opened a pretty solid lead, as unfortunately for Beamer Blunt, he's kind of in the middle. Really in no man's land, as there's a little bit of a gap behind and ahead of him. It looks like Slayer Eyes has crashed as well. Not sure what happened there, but let's hop on with Coda Go Hard as he is about to go by him. See what happened. And it looks like he just spun and ends up DNF, lost a wheel. As we will bring out another safety car. 3 laps later, we still haven't had to open up DRS yet. Quite unfortunately, but let's see what is going to happen, as it looks like Andy is going to come into the pits here. And he will probably throw on a set of mediums at this point. Is anyone else going to join him? Looks like Ketchin, Beamer Blunt, Knick-Knack Paddywhack all coming in for new sets of tires, as Jacko is able to get himself up into a P1 now. A few others are going to stay out. Racer staying out on 13-lap-old hards, as yes, did have Andy throw on those mediums. A few guys hopping on in, but we will hop on with this front crew, as we now have a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Williams, and then a Ferrari. Very interesting collection up the front now. As we will hopefully get everybody bunched up fairly quickly, not have too much time. As Wolfsburg Tuner and Bullanger, I don't see needing to have to come in to the pits for anything, as they both are on fairly new tires. But a lot of guys hopped onto some new tires here as well. Tire strategy kind of goes out the window when you have this many safety cars this early. It's all going to be about who just happened to be lucky at this point. So that is going to be our fourth safety car. So we got about 1 more safety car before the game just says no, you get more, no more for you. Racer's going to be looking to come in fairly soon. Those 13-lap-old hards probably go a little longer, but you're not going to want to too much. Kind of surprised he didn't come in for mediums at this point, but there's a reason I'm talking and he's driving. Looks like Bolanger and Wolfsburg Tuner are going to be able to catch up before the end of this lap here, so we should be hopefully going green fairly quick here. Right after this lap here, and then we should get partway through this one, and you'll start to see Jacko start to kind of bunch everybody back up, create some space from the safety car. It looks like the Greasy Goose is going to pit, and same with Coda Go Hard, both hopping in really quick right near the end here. Feels like kind of a late pit stop, but hey, both hopping onto mediums. Get some a little bit of a faster tire, so they're able to make it. Should get you almost to the end. You're looking at about 14 laps left. It'd be pretty close, but I guess we'll see how it pans out. For anyone who does not know, you do need to switch compounds at least once in a race, or else you end up getting disqualified. You have to use one of the other ones. So whatever you start on, you cannot use the same tire the entire way through unless it's a rain race, as that has been done. Esteban Ocon having pulled off the entire race, and I believe it was Hungary, on one set of intermediate tires. Things were basically falling apart by the end of that race, but he did manage to do it. And it looks like, yep, safety car will be in this lap, so they are going to go green right at the end of this. So we will have Jacko, then Racer X, Electric Blade, Lucifer, King C-Dot, Cam Tizzle, Gas Boy, the Johnny Damon, Andy, Lucky Charms, Knick-Knack, Paddywhack, Ketchin, Beamer Blunt, OnlyFans, Boulanger, Wolfsburg, Tuner, The Greasy Goose, and Coda Go Hard. That's how we will start on coming through lap 16, or to start lap 16 here. See, he has started to back up the field, getting a little bit of space from the safety car. Swerving around, getting some heat into those tires as they come around turn 13 on the way to turn 14, where he's gotten off a little earlier than they expected, and he has opened a pretty solid gap already of over a second as Lucifer makes his way outside of it. He is trying to get past, as Electric Blade is as well. It's very tight through there. You do get a yellow in sector 3, but it looks like someone just unfortunately spinning, as we have both Ferraris making their way past Electric Blade, or fighting off Electric Blade, as Lucifer has managed to get himself up right beside his teammate. And a little bit of Ferrari love hating there as they start to bump. OnlyFans leaving the session, not sure what happened there, but I'm assuming he's going to go AI as he has just disconnected. As we do have Lucifer making his way up into P2, passing his teammate. A little bit of a bump, but nothing too bad, as Jacko has opened a 2.5 second lead. That is coming down fairly quickly as Knick-Knack, Paddywhack gets himself a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. We will hop down with Cam Tizzle as they're in a little bit of a battle here between himself, King C. and Gasboy. They're all very close together. Even Electric Blade's kind of coming under pressure here as well, as he is getting up close to this Ferrari, hoping to make a pass as they come down into turn 11. Turn 12 there is there. Yeah, just trying to get real close. Gotta make sure you get real close here. And unfortunately, we have had DRS the entire time, so it's been a little harder to pass with that. But we are getting a little tighter. Guys are trying to make moves. As Lucifer has definitely started to close up the field a little bit. Knick-Knack, Paddywhack setting himself on the fastest lap with a 1:22.298. As Electric Blade has passed Racer X here. It looks like King C-Dot looking to make the move on the outside. A little close there, but they are able to keep it as he goes on the outside, but now he gets the inside corner and he's able to get ahead of Racer X as well. Ooh, a little bit of a collision as it looks like Racer has lost his front wing as he collects himself in that wall. And unfortunately, that's going to bring out another safety car. That will be our 5th safety car. I establish we are just not destined to get DRS at any point today. Fortunately for Racer X, that will drop him quite far, as he is going to now have to come in not just for tires but a brand new front wing as well. As it looks like Jacko, who had done quite well, he had opened himself a pretty solid lead, gotten himself a nice little gap that he didn't have to worry about when DRS did get activated, until DRS did not get activated. Alright, now it's kind of decision-making time for some guys. As anyone who's on their older hard tires, kind of got to decide if you're going to come in, get some mediums, or if you want to hope for a little bit of help later on, as Racer X has hopped into the pits, as has Lucky Charms. Boulanger has managed to get himself back up to P11 here, just outside of the points, as the top 10 are going to be the only ones who do get themselves points. We have 3 guys in the pits to start safety car here. Unfortunately, Jacko and Electric Blade are C-Dot and Cam Tizzle all going to have to be kind of looking at what they're wanting to do here. I don't see a whole lot of options now, especially with that being kind of your end of your safety cars. Is typically you only get 5. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they did change that. Maybe it now is unlimited, but hopefully for the sake of this race, it's we're kind of done with them. I would love, let's get some green flag driving. Let's get some high speed, throw on a DRS zone or 2. As we will get going with most likely about 9 laps left here, as the rest of the crew of Racer, Lucky Charms, and Johnny Damon try to catch up here. They will about one more lap. So we'll probably get going on lap 20. So we'll go through lap 19 under safety car here. Or under, yeah, under, following this Aston Martin. But hello and welcome everybody to this race. As we can see, the clouds have started to set in, a little less sunshine going on. Shouldn't affect too much. Temperature won't drop too badly. You should still have good traction all the way through. Still would not really want to have to hop under those red-walled softs, but we will see how it ends up going. Everybody is caught back up, so we should kind of get underway here in the next little bit. The end of this lap, light should go out on top of that Aston Martin. As we have Jacko, Lucifer, Electric Blade, C-Dot, King C-Dot, Gasboy, Cam Tizzle, Andy, Knick-Knack, Paddywhack, Ketchin, Beamer Blunt, Bullanger, Hoda Go Hard, Greasy Goose, OnlyFans Free, Wolfsburg Tuner, Racer X, Lucky Charms, and the Johnny Damon. As we have unfortunately lost Slayerized and the Osmanian Devil. OnlyFans has back connected, so he is back here. Like I said, I figured he just got disconnected, so he is back, able to get her going. Safety car will be in this lap. Expect Jacko to start to back the field up here, get a little nice, close, snuggly. Ooh, as he takes a really hard line in there. So as we come into the final 10 laps, I'm curious what everybody thinks. Who is going to take this one? As we come into this last little bit here, the final third of this race. It's the better question, do we think we will hit DRS at some point in this race? And we are back underway as Jacko has gotten himself a little bit of a lead here. Closing in as Lucifer has started to close that gap. He is pushing, trying to get back up, using his little bit of battery there. As he's kind of made his way nice and close, definitely within DRS range if we do get it, as we do have a good chunk of guys holding on pretty well here. The Electric Blade is trying to catch up to Lucifer as well. This is going to be interesting for Jacko, as he is going to have to deal with having one guy trying to fight with him a little bit, as Andy has started trying to make a move on the Williams in front of him as well. And unfortunately, King C-Dot has dropped out a little bit, so he is out of DRS range, at just over a second behind him. But we do have Lucifer looking to make a move on the outside of Jacko, and he has gotten ahead. He is able to hold on as he has gotten ahead, and he is now into P1. And it looks like Jacko is not done playing defense. He now has Electric Blade right on his diffuser. So he is poking that nose into his gearbox. As King C-Dot has gotten a little bit closer, due largely in part to the fact that everyone's kind of had been this little bit of a battle here. As Bullinger gets himself a 3-second penalty for cutting corners. And Electric Blade, Lucifer setting himself a fastest lap of a 1:22.238. Flying lap there as we hop back with Jacko, as he is under fire from Electric Blade coming into turns 3 and 4. As Electric Blade has made a move onto the inside here. So we do have a little bit of a collision issue in the back here, as the Greasy Goose and Bullinger having a problems. We'll hop back with Matt Jacko, as he and Electric Blade are still dueling it out with a couple of guys behind him. Andy trying to make some moves up on Gasboy, as Gasboy is trying to make a move up on King C-Dot and not lose too much here. As Jacko currently trying to just hold on As Andy has made his way past Gas Boy here. He is right on the diffuser of King C-Dot. It looks like he's going to take a peek to the outside, side against it as he is kind of moving his way. He's gotten up alongside him. He doesn't get given any room there and ends up losing a space to a Gas Boy again. This is going to get real hairy and real interesting as he makes his way back up ahead of Gas Boy. Now he's going to try and make another move, I'm sure, but we should start getting DRS as Lucifer sets another fast lap at a 121.198. That's absolutely flying. He's opened a 3-second gap to P2 as Electric Blade is trying to stick on Jacko as Andy makes his move past King C-Dot there. And unfortunately, because of where he made that move, King C-Dot ends up losing another place to Gas Boy as well. And he's now under fire of his own teammate. And the last thing he wants to have there is Knick Knack Paddywhack take him out as they are coming in to kind of a sketchy area to be trying to make a move like that. But we do have Electric Blade pushing now. Knick Knack Paddywhack has gotten himself just up ahead of his teammate in King C-Dot. There's this three-way little battle here as they're now trying to see who ends up on the podium between Madjack, Electric Blade, and Andy. A little bit of dueling going on as Ketchin makes his way past Cam Tizzle. Electric Blade, he's pushing. We should get DRS activated fairly shortly. It is active, so he is going to be real close as they come into turn 1. Jacko taking that inside line, and then unfortunately Electric Blade bumps his rear tire, and this sends both of them spinning. Jacko and Electric Blade both losing a lot of positions because of that. Rather unfortunate as Jacko is now having to duel his way back up. He is now behind King C-Dot with Ketchin right behind him as he was able to slot back in. Electric Blade losing himself, finding himself outside of the points now after that. Rather unfortunate because, yeah, Jacko was doing everything right, but there needed to be a little bit more space on one of their sides. Knick Knack Paddywhack trying to make his way up to Gas Boy as he is a little bit behind, but he will have DRS coming into this next little section here. So he will open up that rear wing and try and reel in Gas Boy. Jacko has started to drop down. Unfortunately, what happened to Gas Boy, or Jacko, it looks like he got a little loose there, ends up on a nice little spin. That will unfortunately take him down as we have Boolanger having a little bit of an issue. He is back underway. Looks like Ketchin coming into the pits. Not sure what happened there. He has had to hop into the pits as we have Beamer Blunt on the rear wing here of Cam Tizzle as we make our way down into turn 3 and 4. As Knick Knack also trying to make a move on Gas Boy again as well. The Greasy Goose getting himself a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners as well. As it looks like, wow, we had a few DNFs as it looks like, ooh. I think that was Coda Gohard in the wall himself. I'm not sure what happened to King C-Dot, but we've lost 3 guys all right away. Lucky Charms, King C-Dot, and Coda Gohard all unfortunately missing in action now as Knick Knack Paddywhack looks to cut on to the inside of Gas Boy, but decides to fight another day as Electric Blade loses a space to the Johnny Damon. Beamer Blunt here, hoping he can utilize this DRS that we're going to come into on the straightaway. Able to reel in a little bit for Cam Tizzle. And then hopefully use it on the second one to get past him. Trying to get himself a 3-second time penalty as well. Multiple warnings for corner cutting. Fortunately, there have been a lot of corner cutting issues in this race. It is really easy, especially on turn 1. You cut just a little too much can lead to a little bit of an issue. As I say. So Andy is now starting to reel in Lucifer, who did have about a 3-second lead on what used to be Jacko behind him. This is going to... Oh no! Lucifer loses it coming out of turn... I believe that's turn 10 and goes sideways, allowing Andy to take the lead with a 4-second gap behind him. All now he has to worry about is keeping it straight. Lucifer hopping back on as Gasboy does get past Knick Knack Paddywhack. They're going to have a little bit of a duel going on here. As now Knick Knack is going to get himself a little bit of DRS, and these two both have a penalty, so they are going to try to keep as much space as they can, because Lucifer, if he is able to get back within 3 seconds, he will be able to bump one of them off the podium. He is right up on him, coming into this little bit of a straightaway, as Ketchin sets a 120.8 on a fastest lap. I'm assuming he threw on... No, he didn't even throw on some softs. So Greasy Goose has hopped into the pits as Lucifer gets himself a time penalty as well. Ketchin throwing down a monster fast lap there. These two are still going to be dueling it out, trying to see if they can catch a hold of the podium, but it looks like Lucifer, he's starting to reel in some time. Fortunately, getting his own 3-second penalty is not going to help him much for trying to take someone off the podium, as he's kind of now floating around behind, getting a little loose behind them. I'm not sure if anyone saw that, but he did. As Gasboy has managed to pull a little bit of a space between himself and Knick Knack Paddywhack here. As unfortunately, Beamer Blunt now also loses it in between turns, coming out of turn 12 here. I'm curious where he ends up. He has gotten himself into the wall. It looks like he has lost his front wheel as well. So he is now going to be out. So we hop back with Knick Knack Paddywhack, as he is going to try as best he can, trying to get into P2 instead of P3. Not quite close enough on that last one. Last set of DRS exchanges. It looks like Boulanger has retired as well. I'm not sure what happened. It looks like about the same spot that we lost. Yeah, he fortunately got a little loose, ended up losing his front tire, as Andy has gotten himself a 3-second penalty as well, and Knick Knack has made his way in front of Gasboy. This will be a continuous little duel here, as he's trying to get up beside him. Backs out. Give a little bit of space. His OnlyFans gets himself a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, as Gasboy does get a little squirrely coming out of there, and that will cost him a lot, as he now is no longer in DRS range. We'll hop with Racer, as he is able to get into DRS range on Jacko. Fortunately, not helping too much, as he is still 6/10 of a second away. Jacko, I'm sure, using a good chunk of batteries. We come into the final 2 laps here. He is now out of DRS range, as it looks like Gasboy has caught himself back up into DRS range on Knick Knack Paddywhack. We did get a fastest lap just right away there. Andy has come through, or is almost coming through here for the final lap of this race. He did a 1:21, fantastically fast lap there. Oh no, did we lose another one, or did he manage to? Yeah, only fans free, unfortunately, loses it in the same spot. As we can see, we'll see the Greasy Goose here. Is Lucifer retired? What happened to Lucifer here? It looks like he, unfortunately, coming out of turn 2, got a little loose. Let's see if his car is still on this side here. Yeah, and just skid across into the wall and unfortunately sent himself off. So we are on board with Andy as he is coming through on his way to turn 9 and 10. Or heading his way down past turn 11 into turn 11 now. Keeps it nice and safe. Turn 12 there. Turn 13 for the final time as he makes his way down the straightaway. On his way in, and he will get himself the win. Fantastic drive from Andy as he was able to hold on. The Knick-Knack Paddywhack coming in second with Gasboy in third. Cam Tizzle and Electric Blade in fourth and fifth. Matt Jacko in sixth. Racer in seventh. As we have Catching coming through here in eighth. Johnny Damon getting a place in ninth. Greasy Goose in 10th. And unfortunately we lost Wolfsberg on his final lap in turn 11 there. As the Haas does himself a little bit of a donut before crossing the finish line. He was trying to push to catch the Johnny Damon. Fortunately didn't, but keeps it out of the wall, and he is able to finish for that all-final important point. As we see here, so Andy will get himself the win, pulling off a wonderful W there, as he is able to get himself maximum points. Great race for himself. Very interesting race, to say the least. I think thankfully we did get DRS for the ending there to make it a little more exciting. But yes, rather unfortunate that it ended up going the way that it did. We will be having a quick hopeful interviews with some people here, as we did have the Greasy Goose stealing fastest lap, so he'll actually get himself 2 points there. As we walk away with Andy finishing in P1, started P1. Fantastic day for him. And then we had Knick-Knack Paddywhack P2, Gasboy in P3, Cam Tizzle in P4, Electric Blade in P5, Jacko in P6, Racer X P7, Hitchin in P8, the Johnny Damon P9, and Greasy Goose in 10th. And unfortunately after that we have Wolfsberg Tuner, Lucifer, OnlyFans Free, Bolanger, Beamer Blunt, Coda Go Hard, King C-Dot, Lucky Charms, Slayer Eyes, Osmanian Devil, unfortunately not finishing today. Rather a rough time for most of them. So we will have the top 3 hopping in here, and we will have a quick interview with them. Looks like we do have first overall in Andy here.
Hi there.
How was that? That seemed like a pretty interesting drive to have to go through.
A lot of fuel burning under safety car,
I,
as we had five. So yeah, but after the final safety car, um, I had a good chunk of positions needed to gain. So just waited for the right moment and pushed on pretty much.
yeah, I mean, you were able to make your way back up the field for sure. Yeah, it was a little concerning for a lot of people being like, I don't know what you're gonna do tires there because you had no choices. It was just constantly having to worry about, okay, is there another safety car coming? Is there another safety car coming? How did you kind of decide what to do with your tires through that?
Um, it was pretty much just seeing that we kept on having safety car even though people didn't retire, um, or not a lot of people. So it was like 20 and 19 for the three first, I think, something like that. So it was still a lot of cars on the track, and they're all bunched up. So I was just kind of waiting for the right moment on the fourth safety car.
Mhm.
Me and Ketchen's pit window was around that lap, so
I
we
saw a little
double
bit of a.
stacked.
I was gonna say I saw a little bit of a double stack there, and I think Ketchen had a little bit of an issue getting in quickly, but hey, you guys managed to make it through and both get points there, so it can't be too bad, right?
Yeah, it was a good race. I was hoping for a little bit of a battle with Hayden, but sadly it didn't go that way. But yeah, it was a good race.
That's good. And then I guess congratulations. Is there anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to the GOAT, my teammate Ketchen.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Good drive there, bro.
he had a decent one. He definitely, like I said, he battled his way back. Had a flyer of a lap too on the on some mediums, and then yeah, unfortunately lost it to the Greasy Goose. He managed to pull it off on the softs, but yeah, great race for both of you guys. Well, congratulations on the win, and hopefully
Thank
we
you.
will see you back for the next one.
All right. Thank you, dude.
Yeah. All right, and then we will talk to Nick Nack Paddywhack as he is also with us. How'd that feel for you?
Oh man, that was good. Sorry, I was late to hop in here. I was kind of confused where we should go.
All good, all
Um,
good.
yeah, it felt good. I was a little worried at the end when I had the 3 seconds, and who was I racing?
Uh,
Whoever it was that I
Matt?
was racing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gas Boy, Gas Boy.
Gasboy. Yeah, Gasboy didn't have one, and we were battling hard for a while. I kept gaining on him, and then tried to do a couple inside line moves after the DRS zone. That's after the S's, and just couldn't get it to stick. He had more grip on the outside, and eventually I got it done. But yeah, that was definitely a sweat for. I thought it was going to be a sweat for third, but ended up holding on to second, so I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I was looking at a little dangerous too. Lucifer had no safety or no penalties there, and he was trying to close in. Unfortunately, he did end up getting one, and then ended up retiring in the end. But how did you find it with all the safety cars and having to really adjust tire strategy consistently through that? As obviously you
Yeah,
weren't using them as much.
there definitely were a little too many safety cars, I will admit. But I mean, I was anticipating an early safety car. I started on the softs and got ahead of Andy, who was on hards, and then I think it was like 3 laps in, there's a safety car. So I'm like, all right, it's a little early, but kind of works out to what I was hoping for. And then I was going to try to stretch out the hards a little longer, and there's just so many that I was like, all right, I don't think it's an advantage at this point. So, um, I think at the end there, running out my mediums, like 11 laps after having them out on a safety car ended up working out okay. But yeah, definitely a lot of safety cars. It was hard to just like race before you get that yellow flag warning.
Yeah, I think we didn't go until after the fifth safety car with DRS, so I'm sure that it got a little interesting trying to watch people pass without DRS at all.
Yeah,
But I
right.
mean, it is what it is, and I believe there will be a conversation about that fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I
But
was
I mean, there's some pretty good racing beyond that too. especially because I mean, so many of these corners are just so slippery. Where like if you get a little too much curb, you can get sent, especially the S's, and that's where like I think most of the overtaking is. But yeah, it would have been nicer to have more DRS because then there'd probably be a little more action. I don't know about from everyone else's view. I mean, you probably had a nice view of everything. I'm sure there was a lot of good racing, but
Yeah, there's a lot of close racing for sure. I think largely due to there being a lack of DRS, so it was very interesting to watch for sure. Was there anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go?
yeah, C Dot, my teammate, he was holding down the front of the pack for a little bit, which allowed me to catch up on the last safety car restart. I think I was like fifth or sixth or seventh, somewhere back there. And I was behind Andy when it started, and he was just cruising through the pack. And I was struggling to keep up with him. But then C Dot unfortunately had a moment because he could have had a podium if he didn't have any time penalties after Gasboy and Lucifer. But he helped me get ahead, and unfortunately, he couldn't finish up there with us. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to the teammate, Red Bull.
Sounds good. Well, we are headed to where are we going next race? I have it remembered, but I forget because it's me. We will be heading to the USA in Miami, so hopefully we'll see you there, and hopefully it goes a little smoother on the safety car end of things.
Yeah, of course, that would be pretty sweet. But I'm sure we're gonna have good racing regardless.
For sure. Yeah, it's always fun. So, anyways,
Yeah.
Congratulations on the P2 there, and we will see you again in the next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, mate.
All right, so we will, as you can see here, we have popped up the calendar. So we just finished the Australia race for round 1. We will be heading to Miami on April 2nd for round 2, which will always be a little interesting of a race because it can be wet, can be dry, and it's a brand new track. So a lot of people still getting a little more familiar with it. But it will be hopefully some fantastic racing. A little bit less in terms of the safety car deployments, but we'll see how it all goes. But I just want to say thank you all for coming by, and we will hopefully see you again 8 p.m. Eastern Time, April 2nd in Miami. So have yourselves a great rest of the day, and hopefully we will see you back for that one. Have yourselves a good one.